She's standing right in front of you, and her mouth is saying one thing, but her body? Her body is telling you an entirely different story. Most men completely miss these signals. They're so focused on words that they ignore the most honest form of communication humans have, body language. Here's the truth, her body cannot lie. While her words might be cautious or unclear, her physical signals are broadcasting her true feelings loud and clear. In the next few minutes, I'm going to decode 7 powerful body language signals that reveal she's attracted to you. Signal number 4 is so subtle that even she doesn't realize she's doing it, but it's one of the strongest indicators of genuine interest. Welcome back to Aphorism Archive, where we master the art of human connection and decode the psychology behind relationships. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button because the insights we share will change how you navigate every relationship in your life. Research shows that over 55% of human communication is nonverbal. When it comes to attraction, this becomes even more significant. A woman might be hesitant to verbally express interest, but her body is hardwired by millions of years of evolution to signal attraction in specific, measurable ways. Let's decode what her body is really telling you. Signal 1. Her feet and body point directly toward you. Let's start with one of the most overlooked but incredibly revealing signals, the direction of her feet and torso. This is what body language experts call orienting behavior, and it's one of the most honest indicators of interest you'll ever find. We unconsciously point our bodies toward what we're interested in and away from what we want to avoid. It's automatic, which makes it incredibly reliable. You're in a group conversation. Where's her body positioned? Are her feet pointing toward you, even if she's facing someone else? Is her torso oriented in your direction? Research by body language expert Vanessa Van Edwards shows that foot direction is one of the most accurate predictors of genuine interest because people rarely think about controlling their feet. We're conscious of our facial expressions, aware of hand gestures, but our feet operate on pure instinct. Watch what happens when she shifts position. Does she consistently reorient herself toward you? When you move, does her body follow? This continuous realignment is her body unconsciously tracking you because you're the object of her focus. This orienting behavior is rooted in evolutionary psychology. Our ancestors needed to face potential mates directly to assess compatibility and show interest. These patterns are still hardwired into our biology today. Here's what to watch for. Does she maintain this orientation even when it's not socially required? Does she keep her body angled toward you during group conversations when she could easily be facing someone else? The feet don't lie. FBI agents are trained to watch foot direction because it's one of the hardest body language signals to fake. Signal 2. She touches you, casually, playfully, or accidentally. Now let's talk about perhaps the most direct physical signal of attraction, touch. When a woman initiates physical contact with you, she's breaking one of the strongest social norms we have, the boundary of personal space and physical touch. Touch is intimate. We don't touch strangers or people we're uncomfortable with. But when there's attraction, touch becomes a way of communicating interest, creating connection, and testing receptivity. Research in haptics, the study of touch, tells us that touch releases oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone. Physical contact creates neurochemical responses that increase feelings of trust, connection, and attraction. When she initiates touch, she's not just expressing current interest, she's actively creating conditions for deeper bonding. Let's break down types of touch. The arm touch. She touches your arm while laughing, brief but more intimate than no touch. This is often a testing touch. The playful push. You tease her, and she playfully pushes your shoulder. Classic flirtation signal. The accidental touch. Her hand brushes yours, her leg touches yours under the table and stays there. These accidents are often not accidental. The lingering touch. Touch lasts longer than functionally necessary. The grooming touch. She brushes lint off your shirt, adjusts your collar. This is intimate touching disguised as helpful behavior. Research by psychologist Matthew Hertenstein found that humans can communicate distinct emotions through touch alone. When a woman touches you in the context of attraction, even brief touch can communicate warmth, interest, and desire. Here's the key to interpreting touch correctly: frequency, initiation, and response. Is she touching you regularly throughout your interaction? Is she the one initiating these touches? When you reciprocate, how does she respond? Does she welcome it or subtly pull away? Studies in flirtation behavior consistently find that touch is one of the most effective nonverbal courtship signals. Women who incorporate touch into their interactions are rated as more flirtatious and more attractive. But some people are naturally more touchy than others. Compare. Does she touch other people as frequently as she touches you? Or does her touch seem specifically directed at you more often or more intimately? This relative comparison helps distinguish between general touchiness and specific interest. Context matters. Touch in private or intimate settings carries more weight than touch in public group settings. One more dimension: escalation. Does the touch become more frequent, last longer, or occur in more intimate locations over time? Touch that escalates signals growing comfort and attraction. Always respect boundaries. If she initiates touch but seems uncomfortable when you reciprocate, pay attention to those mixed signals. The presence of touch is generally positive, but it should exist within a context of mutual comfort and escalation. Signal 3. She mirrors your movements and gestures. Now let's talk about mirroring, when she unconsciously mimics your body language, gestures, and speech patterns. It's one of the strongest indicators of attraction and connection. Mirroring is a neurological phenomenon tied to mirror neurons. These brain cells fire both when we perform an action and when we observe someone else performing it. They're the foundation of empathy and social bonding. When we're attracted to someone, our mirror neurons go into overdrive. Psychologist Tanya Chartrand called this the chameleon effect. She found that people automatically mimic the postures and behaviors of their interaction partners, and this mimicry increases liking and rapport. But mirroring becomes significantly more pronounced when there's romantic attraction. What does this look like? You lean back, and she leans back too. You cross your legs, she crosses hers. You pick up your drink, and shortly after, she reaches for hers. You speak softly, and her volume adjusts to match. This synchronization can extend to phrases, humor, and emotional energy. The beauty of mirroring is that it's almost entirely unconscious. Her brain is doing it automatically because she feels connected to you. Real mirroring has a slight delay, usually a few seconds to a minute. It's natural and fluid, not immediate and robotic. Research shows that mirroring is bidirectional in attraction. When two people are mutually attracted, they both mirror each other, creating a beautiful dance of synchronized movement. Studies have shown that when people are attracted, their heart rates and breathing patterns can even synchronize. Here's what makes this signal valuable: it's almost impossible to fake convincingly. The brain doesn't maintain this behavior unless there's real connection happening. Pay attention to whether your movements create an unconscious dance of synchronization. That harmony is her body's way of saying, "I feel connected to you." Signal 4. Her pupils dilate when she looks at you. Now we're getting into the signal I promised would blow your mind: pupil dilation. This is perhaps the most involuntary and honest signal of attraction that exists. Here's the fascinating science. When we look at something we find attractive, our pupils automatically dilate. This is controlled by the autonomic nervous system, the same system that controls your heartbeat and breathing. It's completely involuntary. She cannot consciously control it, which makes it one of the purest indicators of genuine attraction. Research dating back to the 1960s by psychologist Eckhard Hess demonstrated that pupils dilate in response to attractive stimuli. When people viewed images they found attractive, including potential romantic partners, their pupils consistently dilated. But here's what makes this even more interesting. We're unconsciously attracted to people with dilated pupils. Studies show that people rate faces with dilated pupils as more attractive. This creates a positive feedback loop. Her pupils dilate because she finds you attractive, which makes her appear more attractive to you. Pupil dilation is most noticeable in stable lighting conditions, during meaningful moments, when you compliment her, share something personal, or during extended eye contact. You need to notice her normal pupil size and then observe whether they dilate during specific interactions with you. Here's a realistic example. You're having coffee in moderate lighting. During casual talk, her pupils are a certain size. Then you lean in, say something that creates intimacy, and if you're paying attention, you might notice her pupils dilate slightly. It's subtle, but it's real. This signal requires close proximity and attention. You won't notice it from across the room. But in intimate conversation settings, coffee dates, dinner, sitting close, it becomes observable if you know what to look for. Here's why this signal is so powerful. It's a physiological response that bypasses all conscious control and social conditioning. She might be playing it cool verbally, but her pupils don't lie. If they're dilating when she looks at you, her body is experiencing attraction, period. Research in evolutionary psychology suggests this pupil response is related to arousal and interest. When we're attracted to someone, our sympathetic nervous system activates. Pupil dilation is one of the visible manifestations of this activation. Combined with extended eye contact, which itself can create attraction, this becomes one of the most honest signals you can observe. Signal 5. She leans in and reduces physical distance. Let's talk about proxemics, the study of personal space and physical distance. How close someone gets to you is one of the clearest indicators of comfort and attraction. Anthropologist Edward T. Hall identified zones of personal space: intimate distance, 0 to 18 inches, personal distance, 18 inches to 4 feet, social distance, 4 to 12 feet, and public distance, beyond 12 feet. When a woman is attracted to you, she naturally wants to occupy that intimate or close personal distance zone. We protect our personal space from people we're uncomfortable with or not interested in. We create physical distance, angle our bodies away, erect barriers. But with people we're attracted to, we do the opposite. We reduce distance, remove barriers, create opportunities for closeness. Watch what happens during conversations. Does she lean in when you're talking? Does she position herself closer than necessary? When you move slightly toward her, does she maintain that proximity, or does she lean back and create distance? Research in nonverbal communication shows that leaning forward is a powerful signal of engagement and interest. It communicates, I'm paying attention, I'm interested in what you're saying, I want to be closer to you. You're sitting across from each other at a table. An uninterested person will sit back, creating maximum distance. An interested person will lean forward, elbows on the table, reducing the space between you. Standing at a party, notice whether she steps closer during conversation, positions herself within arm's reach. Physical proximity is also about barrier removal. Does she position herself so there's nothing between you, no purse on her lap, no crossed arms, no table edge she's leaning away from? Open body language combined with proximity is a powerful signal. Here's a specific test. Create a slight increase in distance, lean back a bit, and observe her response. If she's attracted to you, she'll often unconsciously close that gap. She might lean further forward or show signs of discomfort with the increased distance. Touch is related to proximity. When someone is in close proximity, incidental touch becomes possible. Does she create opportunities for physical contact by getting close enough that your hands might brush or your knees might touch? Research shows that women who are attracted will progressively reduce distance over the course of an interaction. She might start at a social distance but end up in close personal or even intimate distance. Also watch for return behavior. Does she come back into your space after being interrupted? That pattern of returning to your space is a strong indicator that she wants to be near you. Signal 6. She plays with her hair or touches her neck. Let's talk about one of the most classic signals of female attraction: hair touching and neck exposure. But there's more nuance to this than most people realize. When a woman is attracted to you, she engages in what psychologists call preening behaviors, self-touch gestures designed to draw attention to attractive features and to self-soothe during nervous excitement. You'll see her twirl her hair, run her fingers through it, flip it over her shoulder, or repeatedly tuck it behind her ear. These movements serve multiple purposes from an evolutionary psychology perspective. First, hair has been a signal of health and fertility throughout human history. By drawing attention to her hair, she's unconsciously highlighting a feature associated with attractiveness. Second, these movements create dynamic visual that naturally draws the eye. Motion attracts attention, it's neurological. Third, these are displacement behaviors for nervous energy that comes with attraction. Evolutionary psychologist Monica Moore identified hair touching as one of the most common nonverbal courtship signals. In her observational studies, she found that hair playing was one of the top 5 behaviors correlated with successful male approaches. Context is everything. Look for frequency and timing. Does she touch her hair more when talking to you specifically? Is the touch gentle and slow versus quick and agitated? Is it accompanied by other signals like eye contact or smiling? Clusters of signals are more reliable than isolated gestures. Now let's talk about neck touching and exposure. The neck is one of the most vulnerable parts of the human body. Throughout evolution, exposing the neck has been a signal of trust. When a woman is attracted to you, she might touch her neck, throat, or collarbone area, or tilt her head to expose her neck. These are deeply rooted biological signals that communicate, "I feel safe with you." Anthropologist David Givens found that in courtship behavior across cultures, women consistently display the neck as a sign of interest. It's a universal signal that transcends cultural boundaries. Watch what happens during moments of connection, when you compliment her or share something vulnerable. Does her hand move to her neck? These micro-movements are powerful indicators of how she's feeling. Signal 7. She displays open and expansive body language around you. Let's talk about the overall quality of her body language, specifically, whether it's open and expansive versus closed and protective. Open body language means her posture is relaxed, her arms are uncrossed, her body is oriented toward you, and she's taking up space comfortably. Closed body language means crossed arms, hunched shoulders, body angled away, and a protective, contracted posture. When a woman is attracted to you and comfortable in your presence, her body language opens up. She's not creating barriers or protecting herself. She's accessible, relaxed, and welcoming. Research identifies several key elements of open body language: uncrossed arms and legs, palms visible, relaxed shoulders, taking up space, and forward lean. Throughout human evolution, visible palms have been a sign of honesty and non-aggression. When she gestures with open palms or rests her hands where you can see them, it's a subtle signal of openness. Psychologist Amy Cuddy's research on power poses showed that open, expansive postures not only signal confidence but actually create feelings of confidence and comfort. When a woman adopts open body language around you, she's both expressing and reinforcing her comfort with you. Here's what this looks like in practice. You meet for coffee. She sits down, sets her bag aside rather than clutching it, settles into her chair with relaxed posture, arms resting comfortably, body angled toward you, shoulders down. This is open body language. It communicates, I'm comfortable here. I feel safe with you. I'm receptive to this interaction. Contrast that with closed body language. She keeps her bag on her lap or held close, arms crossed over her chest or tucked protectively, body angled slightly away, shoulders up near her ears. This signals discomfort, defensiveness, or lack of interest. But here's an important nuance. Body language can shift throughout an interaction. She might start with slightly more closed body language and progressively open up as comfort builds. This transition from closed to open is actually a positive sign. It shows you're successfully building trust and attraction. Watch for barriers. Does she place objects between you, her phone, her drink, her purse, creating physical barriers? Or does she remove barriers, creating an open channel between you? Barrier removal is a strong signal of openness and interest. Research in courtship behavior has found that women who are attracted display what's called availability cues, signals that communicate they're open and available for approach and interaction. Open body language is one of the primary availability cues. Notice, does her body language become more open specifically when you're talking, or when you make eye contact? If her posture visibly opens in response to you, that's significant. It means you're creating feelings of safety and attraction that manifest in her physical presence. Here's your practical application. Take in the overall impression of her body language. Does she seem relaxed and open around you? Is there a quality of ease and receptivity in how she holds herself? Remember, open body language is most meaningful when it's specifically present with you. If her body language is noticeably more open with you than with others, or if it progressively opens throughout your interactions, that's a strong signal of attraction and comfort. So there you have it, 7 powerful body language signals that her body sends when she's attracted to you. Let's recap. Signal 1, her feet and body point directly toward you. Signal 2, she mirrors your movements and gestures. Signal 3, she plays with her hair or touches her neck. Signal 4, her pupils dilate when she looks at you. Signal 5, she leans in and reduces physical distance. Signal 6, she touches you casually, playfully, or accidentally. Signal 7, she displays open and expansive body language. Now here's what you need to understand. None of these signals in isolation is definitive proof of attraction. Human behavior is complex, and context always matters. But when you start seeing multiple signals appearing together, what body language experts call clusters, that's when you can be confident about her interest. If she's pointing her body toward you, mirroring your gestures, touching your arm while laughing, leaning in close with open body language, that's not coincidence. That's attraction. The beautiful thing about body language is that it's honest. Words can be guarded, cautious, or unclear. But the body doesn't lie. Her nervous system, her mirror neurons, her evolutionary hardwiring, these are all communicating her true feelings through physical signals. So here's my challenge to you, start paying attention. Don't just listen to what she's saying, watch what her body is doing. Notice the orientation, the mirroring, the proximity, the touch, the openness. These signals are happening right in front of you, broadcasting clear messages about attraction. But remember something crucial, while reading these signals gives you valuable information, respect and consent are always paramount. Body language signals tell you she might be interested, but that doesn't replace clear communication and mutual respect. Use these insights to build confidence and understanding, not to push boundaries. If this video helped you decode the mystery of attraction, hit that like button and let me know in the comments which signal surprised you most. Have you noticed these signals in your own life? Share your experience. And if you haven't subscribed to Aphorism Archive yet, now's the time. We're building a community of people committed to mastering communication, understanding relationship psychology, and becoming more socially intelligent. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Remember, attraction is a language. And now you're fluent in it. Use this knowledge wisely, respectfully, and with confidence. The signals are there, you just needed to know how to read them. Until next time, stay observant, stay respectful, and keep growing.